Happy birthday to Zach Baggins. I'm really happy, that things have turned out a lot better than what they could have been because of the fact that Aaron Goodwin's wife had decided to have an external marital affair with a man who I don't even want to bring up his name. He's in prison for the rest of his life for killing his whole family, his mom, his dad, and his brother for money so he can give it to a woman online that he was, you know, mentally thinking that that's the only way he would talk to her. And he pretty well just killed his whole family so he could talk to an online chat lady. Oh my God. So he does that, and years later, they have this on, I think it's Paramount Plus. They said that she was watching it from, I don't have Paramount Plus, but anyway, uh, she had decided to kill Aaron Goodwin because she wanted to have a full romance. She said that Aaron would not accept a divorce and she was going to kill him. You know what? I don't know what to say about that, except I let my ex husband, live. I live in the same house that he does. I live in a separate room. We really don't talk a lot. It's, and it took a long time. If he would have taken a shorter amount of time, I would have been able to pay him off, get him out of my ass, and not have to worry about that. But that's been a whole long struggle. Yeah. So I am going to be doing some work around the house, and I wanted to talk about the fact of happy birthday, Zach Baggins. I'm so happy that you know, you had a good birthday party. I seen that on the internet on, well, they call it X now, but for 2 years, I was not on Twitter because it got so volatile and so mean and just horrible. I just quit using Twitter. So recently I got on my account on Twitter, and I was able to reconnect with people. I like to help people if they're having any problems with what they call residual. Residual hauntings are just a recorded playback, and I wanted to help if you have any idea what to do. Um, get sage to burn, prayers, lots of prayers, because it's a wound that is open and you got to have it heal. So, like anything, if you have a wound that's open, you're going to have to heal it. So, if you want to heal it, you're going to want to, of course, have prayer. Sometimes you have to, God, the lighting just is horrible. Let me see if I can change that. If you have a residual and it's bothering people, it's no longer residual, it's poltergeist activity, and then that's a whole different effect of what you're dealing with. And a lot of times poltergeist activity can be attributed to young teenagers. If you have young teenagers in the house, you will find yourself with not just residual, but with a lot of other things that go on with that. But with that, you have to work with the teenager themselves and have them realize that they too, that's how you find out if your kids, I got the psychic kind of thing going on. Then if they got that psychic energy where it's more open than most people, if you had to work at it, then I would say that you're going to have to work with that teenager and their feelings and what they're going through, because when you get poltergeist type of, I guess you would say, poltergeist type of stuff going on that ever has gone on and you moved and it followed, it could be your children. Trust me on that one. It could be your kids. And when it's your kids, it's a little different. So, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. So I'm going to have to go to Dollar Loan Center because I can't get into my bank account. I just opened a savings, so I'm like, I put money in it, and I'm like, oh, ah, I can't get to it because there's no banks open at this time. They used to be open till 1 o'clock, and you can go in there and you can get your money and do whatever. But now you're like, kind of like, oh crap. So let's trying to find a lighter. And then there's a lot. I one time decided to buy a stuffed animal that supposedly had, I laughed at it because they said nothing happens in our house. We don't know. I'm thinking maybe you had some crosses and shit because when I brought this teddy bear into my house, it was instantly that week everything happened. And I was like, oh my God. You know, you don't laugh at the prospect of someone selling a haunted item on eBay and you buy it and the stuff is real. You become, the reality hits you. And it's the same thing for any of the hauntings and in poltergeist activity that some people get is through the fact that their kids are psychic too, and they tend to attract, what I see in a lot, that it attracts. It happened to my house. It was me. And yeah, my dad had to work with me so we wouldn't have our house in chaos. And you have to work with their kids. You have to tell them this is what's going on. You have the power and you have the light. What my grandmother used to say is that you are like how the ships used to use the light so they wouldn't hit into the rock in the harbor. She said, you are that light where some spirits will see you and you will be their only connection and they will bother you. And when that happens, you got to find out what's going on. And that's in some of the instances, that I have, more or less you see throughout your time that you have certain things happen because you have spirits that are attracted to you, not in a good way. So I can have some money, I mean, I got gas in my car, but I just wanted some money on me. uh, There hasn't been anything said about what's happening with Aaron Goodwin except what's already been known and people have been talking about and praying and hoping that Aaron's doing fine and that he has a good support unit. I really feel bad about what has happened. I mean, I thought, geez, the, the, how it still blows my mind. It really does because this woman had everything. She had a man that loved her unconditionally. and wasn't, weird or crazy. Well, okay, he was weird, but he wasn't. And then she gets attracted to a man that's in prison forever because he killed his whole flippin' family. Gone for money. Really, that's what the whole end thing was. I would not want to marry someone or have a boyfriend like that because he would eventually unalive me. It's just, how could someone just do that? Want to kill someone's, you know, oh God, it's just, whew, it amazes me. It really does. So I guess in a sense, because of this whole thing going on with Aaron Goodwin and this, I went back on my X account, which was Twitter when I left it. I just quit going on and I put it away in a place on my phone. And I'm like, well, I know for a fact that Aaron Goodwin doesn't have Facebook account and all the other stuff. They're having problems with people saying that they are these people and extorting money. So if anything ever fails, if someone says that they're Aaron Goodwin, check for the check mark. If there's no check mark, saying that they're verified, like how mine's a check mark, I'm verified. I go as my name, but Omega, you got a check mark saying they're verified for Aaron Goodwin, for Ghost Hunters. It'll be a green check mark round right after the name is done. There's a check mark. If there's no check mark, don't go for it. So I got followed and messaged by a Zach Baggins. It wasn't the real. I asked him, I said, for verification purposes, I am asking you to do a video call for a couple minutes. If you cannot do a video call, then what I'm asking you is that I will block and delete you. And that's what I did. I deleted and blocked and move on because they are not the real people. They are fakes. They are some person overseas that are pretending to be these people. So if there's not a verified check mark on the after their name, then realize you're dealing with a faker. And yeah, I'm just going to do a small, I think a half an hour show just to pretty much put out, happy birthday, Zach Baggins. I hope you had a good time. You do a lot of good for people and you had a lot of good friends there. It was good. And then I seen his best friend Patty on there. Oh, what's her name? I forget her last name. And it showed the whole crew on there. So it looked like it was fun. It's all good. So I have been putting out a resume for over 2 years, and I am thinking about putting out a video resume, seeing how I can do that to send them to more or less go, hey, if you're looking. So for someone to, like I said, with Aaron Goodwin's wife, Crazy Pants, I am not giving out her name because everyone should know her name by now, and I really don't think that, I think it gives people power. So Crazy Pants, that's what I'm calling her now, is in, as far as I know, unless things have changed, oh God. I don't know what fantasy someone would think to go, hey, I want to get a not a serial killer, but a murderer who murdered their whole family. Wow, that's a great catch, not. I myself tried to get divorced 3 times with the same person, and I had to deal with a lot, and I paid for the divorce. It came out of my money. Yeah, it did. So if you're looking for a fact on, I couldn't do that. I have two kids by him. They're grown adults and they still need their dad. Even though he spread rumors about me that were untrue and he's done a lot of bad things, said a lot of bad things, I still wouldn't kill him. Oh God. I just can't believe that somebody would go on the dark web to get um to unalive somebody. Oh God. So I also want to make a special prayer that all the people who work at the Haunted Mansion and Ghost Adventures, that they are safe and that their significant other isn't going to try to go on the dark web or any other place to get a person to unalive anybody there. Let's see, what else can I cover? uh, Crazy, anybody who's like, I guess be crazy in love, or uh, any person that is attracted to any of the people at the Haunted Museum or Ghost Adventures of a crazy person who's on the, I guess it would be like in love with them to the point where it's dangerous. Uh, that they are safe from anybody trying to hurt them in any way. Amen. God dang. I just can't believe it. I still can't, cuz I live here in Nevada. This is hitting home, and it's someone that a lot of people have seen throughout their lives, just to, yes, they are a bad person. They're not a bad person. They're mentally sick. And I would say that she should be in a mental institution. Now, I wouldn't trust her around kids or anything. Now, that's what I would say to that. Yep. And my cat agrees. He always goes to sleep when I do weed. So, in that fact and that point, you know, ourselves, we have to be safe. So, let me tell you about fishing. When you're on a dating website, it's good to ask a shiza load of questions. Just keep the questions going, because if they say, "Do you have any questions?" you go, "Yes." "Do you have an ankle bracelet that is from the police department?" "No." "Okay." "Do you have a car that is in your possession right now that you could drive?" Because I ask people if they have a car and they go, "Yes, but it's not running," or somebody else has it, or, oh, I've heard it all. So I've had to use and rephrase shit and say stuff like, "Do you have a car that you could drive every day?" That you do drive every day. Smoked weed, so I have to back up a bit. All right. When you go on the dating sites, you have to ask a shitload of questions like, "Do you have a car that you're driving every day that is yours? That isn't your girlfriend's or your mom's or your dad's or your uncle's, that you don't have a possession of it when you're not working?" Okay. Question number 2. Do you have your own place? Like you rent your own, or you are paying a house payment? You got to be that much, because if I'm not that careful, I might walk into, like, you're renting an apartment with your cousin, or your cousin that makes you feel uncomfortable to bring anybody over, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah." Then there's another question, and I have asked, and I have, you know, do you have a job? Are you working? Yeah, there's a lot of people I've been talking with that haven't been, they are out of a job. I don't know if they were in the IRS or whatever, but a lot of people I've been talking to, they're looking for a job right now. So it's good to ask that. I have learned that uh, there are people that will do anything to get you to their house just because they're so lonely. My one fishing story is just, you know, it's just that. And you got to ask lots of questions. So it's the same thing if you're looking for the official, whatever they have, anybody that you talk to who is famous and they are on the old, you know, the X account. Okay, let me tell you this. There's a verification. It's round. It's after the end of the name. It'll have a verification with a white check mark and a green background. That's how you know. They are verified. They are verified as, you know, dealing with Zach Baggins or whatever. Because I've watched all this stuff. They have it on Max, and a lot of times, if you want to binge watch, you start from numero uno, going all the way. And that's what I was thinking of doing because of the fact that it's just an amazing thing. I have learned. I don't have a favorite episode because each one has something that I gain knowledge from, that I go, oh, wow, okay, you know, and you learn things that you're not a victim. There's people across the country and over the world that have dealt with this. And if we come together, we can help each other. That's how I feel. When you watch they are on the April 16th, going to be a whole new season. I get Max, so I'll be watching that. So, yeah. All right. Oh, it's 22. Oh, time goes so slow when you're smoking weed. No. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to do here. And I figure, why not, you know? Hopefully it'll be all right. Oh, here I have, oh, I could go on my green screen. I forgot. All right. Let me get my favorite guy. This is my cat. He loves to hang with me. So that's what he was doing earlier. All right. Let's show the there we go. Where is that? Should make it. Oh, this one's funny. Let's just put it for this right now. All right. I forgot all about that. I was like, oh boy. So anyway, I come to really respect the people who are in the Haunted Mansion and over with Ghost Adventures. So, you know. And I pray that they are safe, all of them. It's just, it still has me floored. Man, it really does. I finally found someone worse than my ex, and it's in a woman who, woo-wee. I mean, She was posting shit like it just amazes me. She was posting shit, I wouldn't say hours, but I would say like days, that she knew that her ex, that they would put a hit on her ex. Or her ex to be. Oh my God. Oh God. Poor Aaron. Okay. I'm just amazed about that. But I hope everybody is safe and wow. Yeah. So, let's change the subject onto the Haunted Mansion. They offer different tours. It's good to look online, and you can go online to their Haunted Mansion, and they have all kinds of stuff that they offer. I've been wanting to just go there to buy some swag. I got a couple bucks, and I wanted to go there to do that. I wonder if I could just to go into the souvenir room, okay? I'll call and ask, see if they would do that. If not, it's only like a block away from my boyfriend's house. Yeah, no. So, I am going to be going. Everyone have a beautiful and blessed day.